So, very good morning, all my dear children of class 6th B. Today, we are going to learn a very beautiful lesson, what happened to the reptiles. This lesson gives us a very beautiful idea about the Mother Earth, how Mother Earth is taking care of all the animals, including human beings also and animal beings also. What happened to the reptiles? Can you see this slide on your screen, everybody? Okay, fine. Pambupati is a peaceful village. People of different qualities, different religions stay there peacefully. There was one village, the name of the village was Pambupati, and it is famous for its peaceful atmosphere. People of different qualities means in Pambupati there are different people living, the people of different religions, different caste, different faiths, they were living there. How? Peacefully. And that's why we are calling it unity in diversity. But it was not always so. But that peace was not forever. That was not lasted forever. It was short-lived. That's why this is the story we are learning, and behind that there is one story. That story we are going to learn here. There is one boy, his name was Prem, the narrator of the story. He ran away from his village, Pambupati. Why? Because people of his village start fighting with each other, killing each other, burning things down in the name of religion. So in the name of religion, they are killing each other, they started to burn the houses and their things, and they started fighting with each other. That's why Prem left that village. He ran away from Pambupati. Prem reaches Pambupati. He ran away from his original village and he reaches to Pambupati and faints near a well. There was one well. Well means kuwa. He fainted means what? To become unconscious. When he opens his eyes, he finds the villagers lovingly taking care of him. When he opened his eyes, at that time he found that all the villagers were very kind. They are taking his care properly, lovingly. Prem is surprised to see such cooperation and love among the villagers. Prem was surprised because he earlier experienced in his village people were killing each other, people were fighting with each other, people were burning their houses, their things. But here he saw total different scenario. That's why he was surprised. All the people were living with cooperation, with love, kindness, compassion, and there was very peaceful things happening in the village. He was surprised. An old man starts a story. There was one old man and he started to narrate the story, and this story goes like this. Very, very long ago, there were no animals in Pambupati, only reptiles. In reptiles, crocodile, snake, lizard, tortoise, these animals are coming. They are reptiles. In Pambupati only reptiles were there. They had a meeting every month. Their community was there. Their society was there. That's why they were organizing meet every month. And the leader of that meet was Makara, or crocodile. There was the biggest crocodile. His name was Makara, and he was heading the meeting. He was the president of that meeting. And one day what happened? Makara asked the tortoise to leave the forest. Makara was a very different kind of person. Means that reptile. He was whimsical. And one day he ordered all the tortoises leave the forest at once, immediately. They were so slow, so stupid, and they carry their own houses on their backs. According to Makara, the opinion about tortoises are they are so stupid and they carry their own houses on their back and they are so slow. Makara feels that about tortoises. The tortoises quietly left the forest. All were happy because there was more food, more water, more space for all other animals because tortoises have left the forest. But a rotting smell began to fill the forest. Stinking, the forest started to stink, the bad smell started to come out, a rotten smell started to come out. The forest was filled with rotten smell, and all of them irritated. Next, Makara asked the snakes to leave the forest. In next meeting, Makara ordered all snakes will leave the forest immediately. They were so slimy and made funny noises. The snakes left quietly. According to Makara, they were very slimy and they are making funny noises. That's why they had to leave the forest. Snakes also followed the order and they left the forest quietly. All were afraid of snakes, so they were happy to see the snakes go. All other animals were afraid of snakes. That's why they were very happy because snakes are going. Snakes are leaving the forest. But soon the forest was filled with rats. After the departure of snakes, the population of rats started to grow in the forest. And there was a new nuisance created by these rats. Then Makara ordered the lizards. Lizards were asked to go next. They had strangest habits and changed color. Lizards are changing their colors. Their habits are strangest. That's why Makara ordered them. Leave the forest at once, immediately. And soon the lizards too left the forest. The forest was filled with insects after the lizards left. Lizards were eating insects. But after their departure, the forest was filled with all different types of insects. And they were creating commotion and nuisance in the forest, disturbing all other animals. Life was terrible for the crocodiles now. Crocodiles now became very terrible. But they thought that after the departure of tortoises, snakes, lizards, their life will become very comfortable. They will enjoy food, water, space. But their life became very miserable and terrible and horrible. They were troubled by rats, frogs and insects. All turned against Makara. Earlier all the people means Makara was their leader and other peoples were following Makara, but now they were cursing Makara. They turned against Makara. One day they decided to call the tortoises, snakes and lizards back. All other animals, reptiles decided to call other animals, those who have left the forest. Tortoises, snakes and lizards. They ordered them to come back. They return. All the tortoises, snakes and lizards return and the forest become normal once again. The old man stopped his story. So the animals which we feel less important, but after their departure we can understand their importance. That's why we should not treat anybody and we should not consider anybody inferior. Got it? All are equally important. One day you have to go to that person or that particular thing to ask for help. That's why you should be very polite, kind towards all the human beings as well as animal beings, because they are playing very important role in the development of or in the maintenance of Mother Earth. So on the planet, whoever and whatever is there, that there is a importance of those things and animals also. That's why they are there. Small things are also playing important roles. Even small bacteria is also important. That's why they are playing very important role on Mother Earth. So we should live with harmony. We should live in compassion You should be very kind and compassionate towards all these animals also. I have a story to tell my villagers, said Prem. Will they listen to me? I have a story to tell my villagers, said Prem. Will they listen to me? Prem was doubtful. This is the story, and that story I wanted to tell to my villagers, but they are going to listen or not, I don't know. They have to, said the old man. Remember, all of us has a place in this strange, funny world. Everybody has place in this strange, funny world. Now, these are the question answers. Before going to start question answers, I would like to show you one video of the lesson. Understand better what is this lesson about. Rotten means सड़ा हुआ. जब टमाटर सड़ जाते हैं ना तो कैसे दिखते हैं? Rotten. It is called rotten.
What do we mean by pollution?
Pollution? Commotion?
Yes, sir.
Commotion. Commotion means मैं क्लास में आने से पहले क्या कर रहे थे आप? उसको commotion बोलते हैं.
This story tells us that everyone has a place and also a value in this world. So sir, how does the bacteria have a value? They infect other people and make them die.
No. One important thing I would like to tell. 1 minute. I would like to tell you one important thing about bacteria. Our body is the colony of bacteria. Got it? In our stomach there are number of bacteria, but there are two types of bacteria. One is good bacteria, another is bad bacteria. When we are eating curd, दही खाते हो ना, उसमें good bacteria होता है, and that bacteria is very helpful for our health. Bad bacteria जो होता है वो fungus में होता है. When we eat stale food and outside food, we will infect with bad bacteria. हमारे बॉडी में पूरा बैक्टीरिया है, ध्यान में रखो. पूरी बैक्टीरिया की कॉलोनी है हमारी बॉडी. पेट में पूरा बैक्टीरिया भरा है, और बिकॉज ऑफ दैट बैक्टीरिया वी आर डाइजेस्टिंग अवर फूड. वो गुड बैक्टीरिया होता है. अगर वो बैक्टीरिया नहीं होगा ना तो कुछ नहीं होता है. और बैक्टीरिया एवरीवेयर होता है, बिकॉज बैक्टीरिया इज द ओरिजिन ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग. अमीबा सुना है कभी नाम साइंस में आपने? अमीबा. हाँ, वो वहाँ से हमारा डेवलपमेंट एवोल्यूशन हुआ है. गॉट इट? सो बैक्टीरिया इज नॉट बैड. सम बैक्टीरियाज आर गुड. यस, बैक्टीरिया. आप इडली क्या खाते हो? बैक्टीरिया खाते हो इडली का पूरा. बैक्टीरिया खाते रहते और बोलते हो कि मैं वेजिटेरियन हूँ. इडली खाते हो, दही खाते हो, पूरा बैक्टीरिया होता है उसमें. और बैक्टीरिया खाने के बाद पूरे बोलते हैं वाह व्हाट यम्मी, टेस्टी, जूसी, क्रिस्पी, डिलीशियस. बैक्टीरिया का खाना नहीं खाएंगे तो आप जिंदा ही नहीं रहेंगे, क्योंकि आपको हर दिन बैक्टीरिया खाना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि पेट में पूरा बैक्टीरिया है आपके. और इफ़ यू वांट टू डेवलप योर हेल्थ यू हैव टू ईट गुड बैक्टीरिया. तो उससे आप दूर नहीं भाग सकते, क्योंकि आपके अंदर ही है वो. So let's watch the video. You will understand better this lesson.
For a while, the animals of the forest were happy because they had been a little afraid of the snakes anyway. They were venomous creatures after all, who scared the daylights out of everyone. A few more weeks slid by. The forest was a changed place. The animals looked tired and fed up. Now that there were no snakes to eat them, the rats had virtually taken over the entire forest. They were having a wonderful time. They were found everywhere, on the trees, in the grass, in the bushes, on the ground. They ate up the eggs of the lizards and crocodiles. There would be no babies that year. Makara's own nest of eggs had been chewed up. Makara was boiling with fury. Animals could not make up their minds as to what was going on around them. Makara ordered all crocodiles to assemble at the river bank. No other reptile was asked to attend. Makara announced at the meeting, "I have asked all the lizards to move out by dawn tomorrow. I dislike these strange creatures. Do you know some of them can also change colors? I for one cannot trust someone who is green one moment and yellow the next." The crocodiles knew their chief was committing a folly, but knew it was no use telling him anything. So the lizards departed the next morning. The crocodiles were sorry to see them leave. All kinds of awful things started happening at Pambupati. The rats grew more powerful, as did the frogs. There were no lizards to eat up their eggs or trouble them. They grew huge with happiness and would often dance on the backs of the crocodiles. There were way too many frogs. After all, how many frogs could the poor crocodiles eat? After some time, the fearless frogs began to eat baby crocodiles. The forest was swarming with insects. With the lizards gone, there were millions of them, growing bigger and nastier by the day. They bit the crocodiles all the time, while the rats and the frogs jumped around in merriment, often on the backs of the crocodiles. It was truly a terrible time for the crocodiles. Their once happy forest habitat seemed like a distant memory. Each day passed like a punishment, and they often thought of leaving. Only the fear of Makara stopped them from doing anything. One day, the crocodiles sat around the river bank gloomily while the frogs teased and troubled them. A squeaky little voice peeped in. "We know why the forest has gone crazy, don't we? At least I know why my home has been destroyed." There was stunned silence all around. Makara, for the first time, appeared nervous and unsure of himself. Just as he shook a rat off his tail, he asked the baby crocodile, "Why, little fellow, what were you saying?" "It all began with the taunt." Okay, said Makara. "There's no need to talk so much." Makara didn't want to admit he was wrong, but it didn't matter anymore. Everyone there knew that he was not all that powerful anymore. He had lost the moral authority over others. He was not always right. Without anyone saying a word, they all came to tacit understanding. Urgent messages were sent all over the place for the tortoises, snakes and lizards to return home to Pambupati. And what a great day it was when these creatures came back, family after family, with their little ones on their backs or straggling behind, shouting at their parents to wait for them. It was a happy sight that no one had dreamed possible till a few weeks back. It was a reality now. Everyone took their rightful places in the forest once again. Life was slowly coming back a full circle. The forest was limping back to normalcy. The teasing rats gave way to a dwindling population. The putrid smell was fast disappearing. The insects were not swarming over the forest anymore. The forest was returning to its former glory. Prem, said the old man. "Have you fallen asleep? Did my story send you off to dreamland?" I shook my head vigorously. "No, grandfather, I was just thinking. Maybe it's time I went back to my own village, because I have a story to tell them. But what if they don't listen to me?" "We can only keep at it, my son. Tell these stories again and again to more and more people. Some of them may laugh at you, or say your stories are not true. But they may remember them one day and understand that each of us has a place in this strange, funny world of ours. People take time to learn their lessons, but they learn them definitely only if there is someone at the right time, at the right place to teach."
Okay, got the story?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.